Going on. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. It's October 22nd, I think. Jesus. All right. From hearing from you guys in the room, just to give me some pulse. Are you scared? Okay. Are you excited? Really? I'm kind of numb. Right? And we're going to talk about this when I get to my slides up. Right? There are so many people that are hurting. And there are so many people that are not affected to anything, by anything. So we can't give up. We need to help the people that need help. And we need to respect the people that didn't have any problems. And life is still going to happen to them. They're going to have babies. They're going to get divorced. They're going to get job transfers. All that stuff is still going to happen. It's just the biggest problem we have is our inventory is probably down 20%, maybe more. Right? So I know as a company, we had 300 and something listings, and I think probably 20% are not saleable right now. And when are they going to be fixed? Don't have an answer. How soon can you get a soffit guy out? Do you think they're busy? I managed to have a carpet guy come out to my house yesterday because I had to rip the carpet in my basement room. And he said, I was shocked to get him, but that's because I am who I am and I know who I know, right? If I didn't have that, a normal person, I'm not normal, but a normal person doesn't have any connections. But what do you have? So what can you offer your customers? Because the people that we brought to the meetings here will bend over backwards to help a Century 21 Baggins agent, right? So you can add value in that, because if they're on their own, they're suffering to fraudulent people, scammers, all kinds of stuff, and we're not going to do that. So Chris has put together a list, and we're going to expand that to the company, of recommended vendors for different things that when I'm a Century 21 customer, can you help me? They're going to go up the ladder. It's pretty cool stuff. Can you go to my agenda real quick? This one is my quote for the day. I get a quote every day from Matthew. And the other day, this one came up. It says, Craig, you're the creator of your experience, not the victim of your circumstances. The world is responding to you, not the other way around. So is that a perspective that you could adopt? Right? It sucks. I tell my dad the problems in my house, and he goes, F you. You ought to see the problems at my house. Right? Bad. Not the first floor bad. None of it. We're all elevated. So there's no. My mom, poor my mom, she had mulch in her driveway. That's it. That's the extent of her problem. Go outside the gate of Symphony. The houses were pre-firm. Flood insurance rate map. I did an interview with the Tampa Bay Times yesterday, and I explained to this woman for 33 minutes about flood insurance and how it works. And told her the world's not coming to an end. People are still going to move to Florida. It's just the damaged houses are not really worth rebuilding because they're going to flood again. I don't know if it's global warming, because I'm not a proponent of global warming, but maybe there's something to it. But there's something happening because storms are more frequent and they're more severe. Right? So if it's happening, I've been in my house for 23 years, never had a flood. Now I've had a flood. I had 1 inch of water in my basement, which is enough to make you mad, but not enough to have my dad having 6 feet of water crashing in his basement and taking out his refrigerator. It went down the street. We don't even know where it is. So it's pretty strong. All right. So you're not the victim of your circumstances. You're the creator of your experience. Right. And that's hard to take. I was talking to the people when I walked this morning, and her son lives on Davis Island. Their house got totaled. They lived with them for a week, but their son goes to Berkeley Prep way in Tampa, which probably takes an hour and 20 minutes to get to nowadays in traffic. So they're staying at a Residence Inn for the next couple of months while they try to rebuild their house on Davis Island. And I tried to get into a conversation with her about, can you even rebuild the house on Davis Island? If it flooded that bad, the insurance company might say no, or the building department might say no. So be prepared for all these changes, and let's get as educated as we can on these. And one of the best educations I found is listening to my brother. If you guys get a chance, make sure you follow him on the BE3 Real Estate channel on YouTube. He did a 2-hour presentation at Deer Beach. If you missed it, go watch it. We had Tom Abraham, the attorney, talking about scammers and how to short sell and help people with their mortgage relief. We had insurance people talking about the 50% rule. We had contractors talking about lifting houses up and not. There's a lot of resources that you can learn and then disseminate on your own, or you can share. So that was kind of the concept. Paramount Title is not going to join us today. We postponed the class that was supposed to happen during Milton to October 31st. So Thanksgiving morning, 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock will be the CE class. I think an email already went out, but we'll send another one. You need to register on that class link because it's, you had to register. Oh, what did I say? Thanksgiving? Thanks for giving me candy. Okay. Don't judge me. On Halloween morning. Yes, we're working on that from 9 to 11. So that'll work. Key points. I just wrote these down just so you be visible. My biggest fear is that some people are saying nothing's going on. I'll just chill now. And that happens every fourth quarter, but it's not true. Right. So I want you to think about a squirrel. What does a squirrel do when fall's coming? They store as many nuts as they can because they know the winter's coming. And then they have a bountiful harvest to eat when the storm comes or when the winter comes. That's what you're doing now. So don't expect instant gratification, but expect to gather trustable clients, trusting clients. And then what do you have to do with those trusting clients?
Make sure they're not nuts.
They're all nuts. They're all nuts. But you need to stay in touch with them. Right? And what tools do we have, Jimmy, to stay in touch with them? Oh, maybe Moxie. So put them in when you meet these people, like Kathleen and I did training yesterday. She had 5 people at her open house, and 3 of them are unrepresented, strong clients for the future when they figure out what's going on in their world. So if she doesn't stay in touch with them between now and whenever that time is, they're going to find somebody else. So right now it's gather the nuts, no pun intended, and nurture those nuts. Maybe nuts is a bad analogy, but it works. Be visible, have content. You're going to get content from me. You're going to get content from Chris, from all the managers, but mostly from Jeff and his insurance and his contractors and lawyers. It's really good. I met a guy yesterday. I talked about this yesterday. Don't go long, but he's got a beautiful house he bought for $1.2 million on the beach in Symphony. It's worth 2.2 now. He still thinks it's worth $1 million. He is miserable. He is bitching and moaning. His garage flooded. His pool got sand in it. His roof is bad. It's leaking the house, the whole thing. Sorry, that sucks. But that's your first floor. Your second and third floors are fine, right? So it could be worse. So have content, share the content. I think I blew this girl's mind yesterday in the interview. We'll see how it comes out with Tampa Bay Times. But 33 minutes, reporters don't usually give you 32 minutes, 33 minutes. But I just taught her so much. It's going to be a good article. Help people. That's key. And what I've heard is you guys have been amazing. And what I heard yesterday was the people that have been damaged the most have been helping the most, which is crazy. You did some really nice things. I went to Madeira Beach and there's a whole bunch of food there. So where did this come from? You brought it. How cool. Very nice. I can't put more emphasis on incubating those leads, right? Using your Moxie contacts and campaigns, and don't expect immediate gratification. Right now, it's time for giving, right? And you're just, once again, gathering nuts and nurturing them. That's it. Okay, let's recognize our September top performers. That's my first email in my list. My biggest thing right now is to make sure you guys know things are still happening. You see the hot sheets every day? Are things happening? They are. Okay, so top listings for the quarter. Robin Bennett tied with Kristen Windsor with 4 listings in the month of September. So congratulations to you two. You guys will see the individual office winners in later, but number 1 in the company. So company-wide, Robin and Kristen. I'm going to Sammy to speed this up. And then we got top selling agents coming up next. And we had a tie for top selling. Alamy Migoyo with 7 sales and Heidi 7 with 7 sales. 7 sales in a month times 12 is a lot. Personality style, 84. Any agent doing 84 transactions as an individual person is crazy. That's a busy, busy month. All right. So those are top selling agents in the company. Top closing agents. Number 1 was Kevin Friel with 5. Kevin is on fire. All his projects, he started these projects years ago, and they're coming to fruition now, and now they're closing. So top closing agent for the company was Kevin Friel with 5 deals. And the top closings for commission was Nicole Gossett. We had a close. We had, I'm not supposed to say the numbers, but somewhere close to 60,000, somewhere close to 60,000, somewhere close to 60,000. We had like 4 people that were with like $1,000 apart. But Nicole stole the company record for the month. What's 60,000 times 12? A lot. $720,000. Imagine that's the industry you're working with and the capacity that's available for you. Now that would take consistency, of course, but it happens. Very cool. Things you should know in your spare time. Okay, we kind of dropped the ball on the open mic time, so we'll get back on that. And Angela's going to send out emails reminding us. But the idea is that on Monday mornings from 9 to 9:30, we do a class, and there's open mic if you guys have questions about anything. Not sure if it's necessary, so we'll gauge it because you guys are asking questions in the classes anyway. But we'll see what happens there. And let's jump to my inbox. Okay, in case you missed it, training recaps. I know it's been hard. I make it a point to watch every class every day. But if you ever miss one, they're easy to go back to and find, and they're all there in the Next Level Resource Center. Showcase listing of the week. Do you need to promote a listing now more than ever or not? I'm not sure, but it doesn't hurt, right? When you look at this listing, this is Kalani's. 2 days on the market, 436 views. This is somebody else, 19 days on the market, 455 views. So on the market for 25% of the time and almost the same amount of views and the same amount of saves in 2 days versus that. So they're getting more attention, right? Now, I suspect if you have a listing that's high and dry with no damage that didn't flood, you have a valuable asset, right? So what should we do to make that valuable asset even more valuable? Promote it, number 1. Well, actually, number 1 is make sure it's spit, polished, and shine. Because are people going to be more trusting of a house that looks pretty and well maintained, or are they getting more skeptical of a house that's on the verge of not looking too good, right? Could you possibly raise the price of a house that didn't flood in this last 2 storms and didn't have any storm damage? Possibly, right? Because there's less inventory of available homes to move into. And that's where an agent comes in and has to deliver value. And I'm talking to my guys for the project that I'm getting ready to launch. We were going to launch October 1st. We decided not to because of the hurricane. And now I'm having a planning meeting with them on Friday. And we're going to raise the seawalls and we're going to raise the dirt. And we're going to market as a surge resistant and hurricane resistant community. We're going to put new standards in the HOA docs that you have to have hurricane windows. The best thing I did at my house is put in hurricane windows. Boarding up sucks. My hands still hurt. They boarded up 2 houses. It sucks. Hurricane windows, I didn't even hear the storm. It was amazing. And they're expensive, right? But kind of nice. So imagine a brand new community with elevated roads, elevated seawalls, and mandatory hurricane features in the construction of the homes, right? Going to cost a little more. Is it worth it after the frustration that everybody's gone through? If you can afford it, yes, it's worth it. So very cool.
Hey, on the Zillow showcase too, one thing that I wanted to add is as a listing agent, if you're not checking as you're getting ready to go on a listing appointment to see if that community is already kind of inundated with showcase listings, you probably need to know that going into that because you're going to go up against competition. And like in Mirror Bay, a lot of them have showcase listings. And if you're going in there and not thinking about adding that to that or being able to speak to that, that could definitely be a detriment to you against others that are there and possibly your property sitting a little bit longer. So pay attention to that as you're going into your communities and you're going in to do these listing appointments and see if things are showcased, because it helps you get the listing, but it also helps compete with what's already happening in those communities.
And it also, if it was me, you're not going to showcase about a 3% commission. So anybody's trying to get you at 2.5, don't offer them a showcase. Bump it to 3, offer them a showcase. Because they only pay if it works, right? Good. That's just what we talk about. So the Zillow team, you had to have training done by October 28th. They backed it up until November 28th because of all the storm shit we had. So you have time, but should you do it now or wait till the last minute? Now, it's on number 2 on your list. Yeah. So we got a lot of agents were calling me saying, oh gosh, I can't do this. But the timeline has been extended, so that's good. Oh, this is Jeff doing a class on Thursday. We had people drive from Ruskin to Madeira Beach to hear that presentation. And there's a sad story. I talked to Jeff about her yesterday. I passed her on to Carlene. She's got some commercial property on 41 down by Beanies, right? And it's a warehouse that flooded, a bunch of little cottages that are rentals for immigrants, very low cost rentals. And she's like, I don't want to deal with this anymore. And our answer is pause and reflect. So Carlene's going to work with her, find out her needs and her wants and her desires, and we're going to find out what's highest and best use of that property going forward. Is Ruskin a promising community? What's happening in Ruskin? What's the population of Ruskin done? 4x maybe, 5x maybe. And the income levels, everything's totally different than it was before. Now that's a pretty cool property, and it's really close to one of the hottest areas, which is Palmetto and Bradenton. So but it's closer to Tampa. So it's got a lot going for it. So we got to think those things through. So he's going to have the mayor of Indian Rocks Beach, real estate broker Jeff, Bill Carnes, a contractor, a mortgage broker, an insurance expert, a public insurance adjuster, and a real estate attorney. That's a pretty all-star panel of people that are here to help. And if you guys need to refer people, this is who we would recommend you refer them to. So you got a friend in the business type of thing. I wanted to point to the public adjuster issue. People don't know about this. I was talking to my aunt the other night. She is a duplex in Sun City. Her housemate roof was pretty much destroyed. Hers was 25% of the shingles were missing. Her insurance company said, we'll patch your roof, which makes no sense because it's a roof. It's one building. It's 2 ownerships, but it's one building. How do you patch one roof and replace another? At some point, the underlayment overlaps and it's just not right. But that's what her insurance company said. And I said, well, you need to talk to a public adjuster, get them on your side. You're going to pay for that out of the proceeds, but they're going to get you more proceeds most likely. Right. And then they're also going to say, well, if this happened, then the roof happened. If the roof happened, the drywall happened. If the drywall happened, the texturing happened, the painting happens. So when that happens, now you got to have a painter, a drywall person, a texture person, a roofer. All those things add up when you get somebody on your side advocating for you. And there are books that show what different products cost, what jobs are worth, and that's what they use. Nobody's being unfair. They're just being thorough. Okay. Any comments on that?
I just remember that the insurance company's job is to pay out as little as possible in order to remain a profitable business. The public adjuster's job is to find every possible thing that was wrong with the property after the storm, so he can include that in his report to bring you back to what it was before the storm, the same way it was then. I had an adjuster come out to my property. One side of my property was completely scraped with shingles because of all the wind. It's got paint scraped, stucco scraped, black tar marks all over the side of it, everywhere. And the insurance adjuster said, no, that's not included. That's just cosmetic. And a public adjuster said, was it like that before the storm? I said, no, it wasn't. You can obviously see this is from shingles. He goes, no, I can tell. I said, so yeah, if it wasn't like that before the storm, we're going to include it. And then I have an adjuster for the whole roof, screen panels, damage inside from water getting into the ceiling, and the side of the house and everything. They offered like $3,600. And the more than 35% of the shingles are gone on the roof, and they offered $3,600. So that's why I said, you know what? I told my insurance company to say, you know what? I'm gonna get a third party to come in and help me out because I don't feel like you're representing or helping me out the way that you should. Tone changed immediately. Well, we can talk to all of the contractors. We'll work it out with you. This isn't the final number that we have to go with. I said, you know what? I think I'll feel more comfortable with an adjuster. That's just what I went through.
Best advice I did the same thing. I called my insurance company. I had a roof leak. 6 feet of my ceiling collapsed and fell down with insulation. It made a mess. And I called the insurance company and they agreed to patch my roof. My roofer said, your roof is not worth patching. It's done. But they paid $13,000 and they fixed 2 patches for me and paid for the drywall, whatever amount it was. It's $13,000. And then a year later, I had roof leaks again. I had to put a new roof on for $86,000. So had I known that, I would have hired a public adjuster who would have said, no. This is it. So now my neighbors, my house is here. This guy, roof is damaged. This guy, roof is damaged. I mean, badly damaged. Need new roofs. They're going to pay their 2% deductible for their insurance, but the insurance company is going to buy them a new roof. So an $86,000 roof now becomes a 2% of your home value, which is like 20 grand. So they'll be covered, right? So that's a big value you can add for these. I know we're talking a lot about hurricanes. Not everybody's affected, but it is what it is. Disaster flyer. Mike Puma, I had lunch with Carol Gardner, who's been a mortgage broker friend of mine for a long time on Friday. And she was so happy with this FHA 203K disaster loan, 0% down. Remember I said you guys need content to post? So Mike put this out yesterday, I think, as his topic thing. What a great thing to go after. Anybody can do an FHA 203K disaster loan, including renters. No, I meant any loan officer can. So you don't have to use Carol, although Carol's awesome. But if you don't have somebody who has access to this product, at least know what it is. Scroll down. I think there's a attachment.
There wasn't. I looked. Yeah, no attachment, just links.
Oh, I forwarded it to myself then. Oh, the links were there. That's okay. And he also made that available on your Moxie website. So you would have to,
There's actually
shared that page yet. Jimmy and I are both working with Moxie. Moxie's page sharing is down, so we have not shared the page out with everybody yet. As soon as they make it available, we will.
but what another resource to have on your website to give you more value to the consumers, and that will be fixed. Okay.
But yeah, here's just a brief look at what they look like and they'll be available for you to add to
Right.
your page.
We're here to help. That's the overall message. That's Paramount Title. We talked about that already. Municipal lien codes, violations, permits. It's a 2-hour class, but you get 2 hours of CE credit. So if you do that 7 times, you don't have to take your continuing education classes. Scroll down a little more. There might be another blue dot somewhere. No, that was manager meeting. Okay. That's all I got in my inbox for today. Any questions from you guys? What are you thinking? Keep at it. Nothing really changes. Hold on. This is worth hearing. So wait for a microphone. Not that it wasn't worth hearing before, but
Hold that
living
closer.
over in the Rusty and Apollo Beach area with me now. And when I was in the audience and I first got there, you could see the panic in people, and the conversations between people was, we just don't know what to do. We don't know where to start. We don't know. A lot of it was about lending. Like, I don't know what to do about my mortgage. And I will say that by the time that class was over, people, you could see they had calmed and people walked away with a plan and hope, but notes of here's where I start and here's what I do and here's who I need to call. And the atmosphere in the room was completely different by the end of the night. So I just want to say Jeff did an amazing job. Everybody there, the agents that were over there, they all did an amazing job helping everybody. And people left there definitely feeling.
do me a favor, go to youtube.com. It'll show me how to get there. Because you can share that.
Take the next one.
Yep. It's gonna be in New Rock Beach on Thursday. If you go to YouTube and type in BE3 real estate, it's already there on this machine. It's gonna pop up. You'll see a banner. Scroll down. There's a white banner, Mad Beat Strong. That one right there is a 2-hour class. It was streamed live. There were 400 people in the room. It made an impact. So that's easy for you to just right click, copy the link, send it to a friend and say, watch this. Because it's, you saying it is one thing, having the attorney and the contractor and the insurance expert and the public adjuster tell you all the same things, just gives you more credibility. You say it, back it up with facts, right? Oh, I bet. The mortgage person was super sought after because what are people wondering? What do I do now? And what's the real challenge? I was talking to somebody yesterday. It's the time, right? How many claims are being made? Tens, 20s, 30, 40, 50, 100,000 claims are probably being made. How many insurance adjusters can an insurance company hire on a regular basis? As few as they can. And what do they need now? As many as they can. And they can't just train them and get them up. So they're sending in morons from different areas. Mhm. Yeah. And they're also hiring temporary people just to go in and appease the customer. So people are upset because the adjuster comes out and they don't hear from them for 2 or 3 weeks. That's not uncommon. Right. All right. So Jimmy's tip of the week. I don't think we've done one of those this week.
No, I have another one up this week.
Okay. And I wrote a wizard article yesterday. I read another one today because one is hurricane related. I'm writing one that's not hurricane related. In case you missed it, always there. And this week in learning goes forward. And that's all on your info at c21be.com calendar.
Two quick things also that are coming up as of today. For MLS, Cloud CMA is no longer available. So hopefully you're not using that anyways, and you're using our tools that we have. But that will cost you $250 a year if you want to continue to use it. And on November 5th, Remine Pro is not going to be free anymore. And it's going to cost, what I'm seeing is about $200 a month if you want Remine. So if you have contacts already in there, you're looking at trying to pull a farm in, you should probably work on doing that here in the next couple weeks. Remine will not be free for our Stellar MLS on November 5th. You should have gotten an email a couple weeks ago about it. You'll probably get something else coming up. So just pay attention to that if you're using that.
Cool. Birthdays coming up. Yesterday was Eden from BE3 Orlando. Today is Amy Camasso, Austin Capella, and Kristen Windsor. Brian D from Apollo Beach is tomorrow, his birthday. Laura Pinzon from BE3 Miami is on the 25th. Donna Reichenbach on the 26th. David Howard in this office on the 27th. Laura Benini on the 27th as well. And Zarko Gligorovic from Madeira Beach is on the 27th. So those are our birthday celebrations this week. And now we're going to end on time for the first time, maybe ever, and break off to individual office meetings. Happy Tuesday.
All right. Happy Tuesday.
I don't